Welcome to the second video in your customer's journey, a course that will help you better understand your customers and how to relate with them online. The primary goal of this video is to help you define who your customer is. The secondary goal of this video is to finally test my time machine and travel back in time. I can't wait to try that. But first, how are we going to achieve our primary goal? We'll start with exploring the reasons why it's important for you to understand your customers. Then we'll go through an exercise together where we will pick an example business and define that business's customers. Why don't we jump straight in? So, why is it important to know who your customers are? One, by knowing who your customers are, you'll be able to identify some of the characteristics they have in common. By identifying these characteristics, you'll have a better understanding of who your customers are, and this could open even more opportunities for your business. Such characteristics are usually grouped into three broad categories: demographics, interests, and behaviors. Demographics include characteristics like age, gender, income, occupation, location, education, and apparently any other word that rhymes with Asian. Your customers may also share interest in certain products, topics, activities, and causes. Then finally, behaviors. Your customers may be doing similar things like reading a particular blog, dressing in a similar fashion, or using the same apps. That was the first reason, identifying the characteristics of your customers. Let's move on to the second reason. The second reason why it's important to know who your customers are, you can more efficiently focus your marketing efforts. By having identified the characteristics your customers have in common, you can easily target other people with similar characteristics because they are more likely to be an extension of your current customer base. Now that you know why it's important to identify your customer, we are left with the question, how? How do you identify who your customer is? And that question brings us to the second part of this video, where we will take part in an exercise of identifying the customers of an existing business. Let me introduce you to Kanairo, a design business that is located in Nairobi, Kenya. Kanairo makes designs for t-shirts, hoodies, and other merchandise that reflect on the culture, the people, and the life in Nairobi. We've also prepared a workbook for this exercise. The link is on the screen right now and is also included in the video description below. Also, I think it's important to add that you can have more than one group of customers. One of the best ways to go about this, if you have multiple customers, is to pick primary customers and then secondary customers. The primary customers are the main customers you want for your business. Usually, this is the customer you desire the most to work with. Secondary customers are the other groups of people who still benefit from your business but have some significant differences from your primary customer base. So let's get started with the exercise.
Yeah, here we are, the browser. So click on the description down below. In my case, I'll just paste it in my browser. And that takes me to the form itself. This is the title of the form. Who is your customer workbook? This form will help you define your customers. So let's start. This is the first section of the form, which asks for your details. And I just want you to know that your name and email will only be used to send the filled form back to you. It will not be used for any other purposes. Let's proceed. Good, so let's fill in the name. So my name is Akuya Ekorot. My email is akuyaekorot@gmail. Yeah, let's do that. Next. So this is the second section, business details. This section helps you define your business and just what it does. So what's the name of your business? In my case, it's Kanairo. What does your business do? So my business, or Kanairo, designs for the people, the culture, and the life in Nairobi. Good, let's proceed. Is your business in operation, or are you planning to start it soon? Kanairo just started, so yeah, it's in operation. This is the third section, customer details, and this section now focuses on defining your customer. We'll go through the demographics and all that. Good, so what type of customer are we defining? It's a primary customer. You can repeat this exercise for the secondary customer if you want to define both of them. So what need does your customer have? In my case, it's less about clothing for Kanairo and more of belonging, the sense of belonging in Nairobi and feeling connected to Nairobi and Kenya. So I'll just write that. So let's define the age. How old are your customers? Kanairo's customers are 25 to 45. What's your customer's gender? In my case, they're both male and female. So what's your customer's household income? Household income is defined as the total amount of income everyone is making together in a household. Even if you're living alone or if there's 5 of you. In my case, I feel like 50,000 shillings is a nice place per month for everyone in that household. Where are your customers located? Definitely Nairobi. What's your customer's occupation? Now, you don't have to answer every question. And in this particular case, I think this is not that relevant for my business. So I'll just write NA, not applicable. What's your customer's level of education? Let's say high school and beyond. Good. So what are your customers interested in? This is a very nice question. And in this case, I want to say that these are answers the answers you give to this particular question may evolve through time. And you need to know your customers more and more to have a better understanding of things like this. So what are they interested in? You can make assumptions, but you have to make sure that you know they are assumptions and just not you living in a world and accepting alternative facts. So let's just think of a couple of interests that Kanairo's customers may have. So might be interested in the life and the events in Nairobi. Might also be interested in clothing and fashion. And they might be interested in good design. Now, this particular point, I feel it's more of a self-serving point. I'd like to think I make good designs, so I write good designs, but I'll just flatter myself for now. But at least I know this is an assumption I'm making, and I can prove it wrong or prove it right later down the road. These are the interests I can think of right now, but please be sure to explore more. Take time while you're answering these questions. Now, the next question, what are some of your customers' behaviors? This needs more honesty because behavior is something you see, something that is there. You can't just guess it. And for a new business like Kanairo, I still don't know much about the behavior of my customers, but I'm looking at it. And one of the things I've noticed is that people or the customers I've had for Kanairo, they call, DM, or WhatsApp first before they order online. I believe that's a trust issue, especially coming from Kenya. That's why they call DM, just to make sure you have the product, you have the right color. They want to see pictures. They want to know if you deliver where they are, and just to hear from a human so that they can have that trust, which you just need to build. So knowing this, I can build my systems around this. I can make sure I can make sure my messages are responsive. I can make sure my number is visible for people to call or WhatsApp. So understanding such behavior helps you serve your customers more. Thank you, and your submission has been received. That's the prompt you're going to get. And I'd like to point out that I know you're wondering, wait, where did all my answers go? The email you provided, just check your email immediately after submitting. You'll find an email, and it will also have a downloadable PDF, which has all the details you just filled, and you can always use it. Plus, this form will be here for as long as I can keep it, and you can always come back again and again and refine just understanding who your customer is.
And that's it. That's how you define your customers. We started by exploring the reasons why it's important to understand your customer, and then we went and did an exercise that helped us define who our customer is. Now, have we achieved the primary and secondary goals of this video? Let's go back and see. The primary goal of this video is to help you define who your customer is. The secondary goal of this video is to finally test my time machine and